Hey everybody, welcome to an all new Uneeda Horror Podcast. I believe this is episode 88 or 89. Forgive me, I forgot the number. But it's the first live of the year. First live of the year. And God, it's already March, so time is flying. But we're glad to be here tonight to talk to the audience. Have a good show. Nick, how are you doing tonight? Well, sorry, I apologize about this, people.
No,
Let's,
no, 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 no,
let's just
no, no.
let him have his moment.
I'm doing, I'm doing something. Just wait. Y'all wait. No, hold on.
Hi, Brandon
Okay.
Houston. Hi, Mike Mack, Saturn Video, Jaden Christopher, Blu-ray Addict, Baldy Jack. How's everybody doing tonight?
This is Christian. Oh, good. I'm happy I finally get to speak to you, Christian. We've never met, not officially, but I feel like I already know you. It's funny how you can see someone's true character when they're alone, or at least when they think they're alone.
All right.
Could you even hear that?
Yeah, I heard it. What is that, like some kind of app or something?
Yeah, Paramount did this thing where it's like, go to this website or whatever and type in your name and your phone number, and motherfucking Ghostface will call you. I put your name in there. Obviously, I don't know if you heard that part.
I did.
Yeah, because I did it earlier for myself. I was like, oh, this is kind of neat. This is kind of cool. Still waiting for an actual app that you can literally do the voice changer. Like I want to be able to do the voice changer.
I remember back in the day, it was either for Saw 5 or 6 or 4, maybe. There was a thing you could do where you talked a message, like you said, you made up like a trap thing, like you were Jigsaw, and you talked as if you were the person normally, and then it would lower the pitch to make it sound like it, and you could email it to people. It's very primitive. This was back in 2010, 11, or 12 or something. It might have been a little bit before that, but I used to do
Good
it
old
all
days.
the time and just email it to my friends. And it would be, I can't repeat them, but they were extremely vile, fucked up things. I would say, like, the traps would be like ripping people's balls off, and you've got like there's a pool of piranha beneath your penis. Like, you gotta, like, I just ridiculous shit, I would say.
Nah, dude, that makes me think of the working with Jigsaw YouTube videos. Like, one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. I still go back and watch that every now and then. Like, motherfucker, Billy the Puppet's in the bed. He's just like, Gary. Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's been a long time, but I remember that, like, it was very popular for a little while, and I remember it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here, man. We're live. We're live. We're coming in. We're coming in color, in stereo. There's this little indie movie coming out this weekend. Christian, you heard about it? You seen this? You've been reading the presses?
I know you're ready for it. God damn it.
Yeah.
I've been keeping up with you, and you're Scream 6 all day, every day.
Dude, it's exciting. It's exciting to have what's now become a kind of a landmark horror franchise. It's always really cool to get a new movie, and
Right.
I don't take that for granted. Like Halloween, like it's just really cool. And so I'm just kind of soaking it up and enjoying the build up to it. And yeah, man, I'm pumped because I mean, we've been doing this long enough. This dance of life to know that there's gonna be lulls in here, man. There's gonna be lulls where not shit comes out,
Right.
and we're gonna miss going to the theaters to see these types of movies. So I try to enjoy it while it's here.
Oh, I hear you. I hear you all the way. I'm excited. Akeem Patterson. I think he's tied into the Hollywood scene. He works for Disney or something.
Yes,
But he said, good guy. I didn't know this. He told me today his grandma was one of the Pointer Sisters, and I was just blown away by that. He said he saw it already, Scream 6, and he said he didn't spoil anything. And don't worry, guys, I wouldn't dare anyway. But he said he really, really liked it, and it was way better than 5. So
I've yet to
honestly.
see anybody I've yet to see anybody that's seen it say that 5 was better, which is kind of blowing my mind because you know me, y'all know me. Like I'm a Nev stan. Like, she's my favorite final girl ever. I've at no point boycotted this movie though, because I feel like that's some cornball shit. But yeah, I mean, I can't believe I'm as pumped as I am, even though she's not going to be in the movie. And I don't know. Did you see what Radio Silence said yesterday or today when they were asked about Nev doing Scream 7, and they both said, we have our fingers crossed. Like, we hope so. We're good friends with her. We keep in contact. We hope that happens. And that apparently she saw the movie this past weekend, and she apparently loved it. So she's been plugged into the whole thing. Like,
Sure.
I would assume she's probably gonna be back. She's gonna be fucking. She's coming back.
Well, that begs the question. I know you said you think it's going to make a lot of money. I'm inclined to agree. I think the hype is there. I think it'll at least match what Scream 5 did. I think people are ready for their first horror movie of the year. Let's be honest. I haven't seen Cocaine Bear yet. God knows I'm excited to, but nobody's flocking to the theaters to see that. I think most people's first horror film they're going to see in the theaters this year is Scream 6. So I could see it doing a lot of money, quite frankly.
Yeah. A Deadline came out today with their projection, and it's actually projected to have the biggest opening of the series, which is awesome. I mean, if you get to a 6th movie, I mean, Christian, you know this. Let's just go down the line, guys. Halloween 6 bombed. Freddy's Dead did pretty well, but not near as well as 3 and 4 and 2. Jason Lives. Yeah, like, you get to the 6th movie in a series, Saw 6, the lowest grossing Saw movie still to this date. Or no, Spiral beat it. Well, that's not a record you want to have. But you get to 6, and most of the time people are like, I'm done. And Scream's about to kind of buck that trend, which is honestly really cool. It's
interesting when you look at the history of Part 6s, because there's some good ones, obviously. I'd argue that Saw 6 is one of the better Saw films.
It is, yeah.
But it's, yeah, I think people were obviously burnt out at the time. I was at that theater. I remember that because I remember we might have talked about this, but I remember it was a Halloween.
Saw 6?
Yeah. And, it was a Halloween tradition. My friends, we would all go to the theater every year, the way people in the 80s did for Friday the 13th. And by 6, it was me and my brother. Everybody else checked out. And when the Paranormal Activity happened, everybody was back to the theaters. Mm-hmm. But by Paranormal Activity 3 or 4, again, they were like, I'm done.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's kind of how it is right now.
Oh, do what now?
I was just gonna say that's just kind of Saw 6. As much as I enjoy Saw 6, and I think it's a really, really solid movie. Like, I really do. I think it's one of the better Saw movies. Yeah, by the time you get to 6, most of the time, it's an instance of people are just done. Whether the movie's good or not, they're just like, I'm done. Like, I have no interest in it. Which kind of sucks.
Yeah, but I'm excited, man. I know you were planning on trying to do a show. I think you're doing it on, correct me if I'm wrong, you're doing something with Lee Friday night instead, right? It's not on your channel anymore.
Yeah, I reached out to Lee and I was just like, hey, man, had this idea or whatever, and I want to have you on for it. And he was like, sure, sounds good. And I was like, cool. I reached out to Piz. Piz was like, cool. It was going to be me, Piz, Lee, and Christian. It was, that's quite a foursome. Mm-hmm. And Christian had to work, so we got our buddy Cody, dude who loves movies. I mean, he was going to be on it anyway, but basically just had Cody and then the 3 of us to make 4 people. That's kind of the panel we wanted to have. And Lee followed up again and was like, hey, man, I don't mind to do it on my channel. Like, I was going to do a spoiler thing anyway that night or that weekend. Why don't we just combine them? And I was like, yeah, I mean, that's cool with me. So it's kind of weird. Like, I don't want Christian to be mad about this, but like, this is gonna be the first time that Piz and Lee are together and Christian's not there.
No, it is what it is. I gotta work Thursday and Friday night. I'm thinking about just waking up a little early and trying to see it Friday, but if not, I'll see it Saturday. It just is what it is. I think my internet's taking a shit. I apologize, people.
Yeah, it is. It's taking a dump.
No, I'm cool. Everything's cool. It just is what it is. It's work. I'm sure we'll end up getting Piz and Drum Dumps to come on the podcast in the future soon. So it's all good.
Yeah, we got something else in the works that yeah, you are a damn liar. We've got something else in the works, guys, that I'm really, really excited to talk to you guys about. Really, really excited. I should say, Christian, we should probably just mention this to everybody. The having Lisa Wilcox on here has kind of been put on the back burner for right now. We may address it later in the future. We just don't know. I'm sorry, because we made that, I made that post and that was the plan. I don't know if you guys are familiar with her. She's doing this reality show on TLC right now called MILF Manor. Love MILFs, all about it. But she's doing that reality show, so her schedule's gotten a lot crazier, and it's just kind of hard. I mean, I've been in contact with her via email, but her schedule is whack right now. So hopefully one day we can do that, but that's kind of been put on the back burner right now. But I'm not going to say who, but I got a direct line of communication with somebody else that Christian and I just are going to shit a brick when they come on the podcast. They watched one of our previous episodes where we talked very highly of this person. They watched the episode and were like, reached out and said, I want to come on your podcast. You guys were really nice about me.
Thank God.
Really dug that. I know.
It's not Don Mancini. Spoiler alert.
It's not Don Mancini. Fuck no. And I couldn't believe it. I was blowing up Christian's phone. I said, wake up, dude. Wake up. Like, I've got big news. Like, wake up, wake up. And this motherfucker was sleeping for like 4 more hours.
Sorry.
But to his credit, as soon as he woke up, he did call me. I could tell he was still laying in bed. And I told him. And he was like, oh, shit, no way. And I was like, yes way. So Antoine, if you're listening, thank you so much for hooking me up here. We're really, really excited about this. As soon as we have a date down, I will let you guys know who it is. I will.
I would have him on.
Is Nightmare Films Jaden? Because that seems like Jaden. But yeah, so really excited. Like I said, guys, when we have that nailed down, a date, you'll know who it is. A couple people DM'd me and they guessed who it was, but they're sworn to secrecy. So
yeah, it's a hobgoblin. No, trying to think of what else we got going on, man. Obviously, we got the chat with us today. If you guys have any place you want to take the direction of the show tonight, by all. But we're
Christian's internet, guys, it is pooping everywhere right now.
I'm going to be taking my computer into the living room, so stick with me, guys. This Ethernet cable is taking a crap on me, and we're live, so I'm about to be on the move.
All right, well, I'll keep it going, guys. So, yeah, no, that's really exciting. No, Rudy, I see you in the chat. Rudy knows who it is, guys. I don't know if I should give you any hints at all. Yeah, I'll give you a hint. All right, I'm going to give you guys a hint about who it is. And if you guessed it in the chat, I'm not going to confirm or deny it. So I'm just going to give you a hint about who it is, and you can just take it. I tweeted that the hint was 1987. And very recently, we did a movie where this person is the star in it. We did a movie on this podcast. And that's all I'm saying. So if you guess it, I'm not telling you yes or no. But I'm really, really excited, guys. It's really cool. It's been a really cool feeling to have somebody in the industry that Christian and I both very much appreciate and enjoy reach out directly and say, hey, I want to come on here. And that's awesome. Like, that's super awesome. I don't know, rock music forever. I can't say. But yeah, really, really excited, guys. And Christian's back.
Seems to be doing okay. As soon as I got up, it started acting perfectly fine. So we'll see.
Okay. I gave them a hint. I gave them a hint about who it is, and the chat's going a little wild right now. But I didn't tell them who.
I know it's pretty obvious who it would be. If
it's fucking Ashley Lawrence, guys. It's fucking Ashley Lawrence. Yes, I did. I don't want to like.
Who else would it have been? You know?
Yeah, it's Ashley Lawrence. It's Ashley Lawrence. one of our viewers, Antoine, he's been a loyal listener of the show. He reached out to me, said he knew her personally, and he showed her the episode, and she thought really highly of what we had to say about her. And she was like, get me in touch with them. I want to come on their podcast, which is crazy because when we did Hellbound, Christian and I said on that episode, man, I'd love to have her on here, but it never happened. Like it would never happen. And then Ashley was like, really? Bet. So I'm telling you guys who it is, but I cannot say when. We don't know when it's going to happen. It's going to be soon. But yeah, Ashley Lawrence is coming on here.
People were talking about the Mike Flanagan nightmare thing like it's something new, but wasn't that old news? Not to like kind of be the bearer of bad news, so to speak, but everybody's, oh, Christian, did you hear about Mike Flanagan? What's his nightmare? I'm like, that's old news though, right? Unless something else happened.
No, it is old news. I think it got brought up again because I believe it was Bloody Disgusting a few days ago made a tweet that kind of went semi-viral about how it's been 13 in April. It'll be 13 years since A Nightmare on Elm Street had a knee. And that got people talking again about what could have been. So everybody was like, oh, you remember that pitch that Mike Flanagan had? And, you know, the internet started to get, you know, a buzz about that again. It's like, yeah, we've talked about that before. Christian and I already said I would be so in. Like, so you wouldn't even need to. I don't care if Robert's back. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care if it's a direct sequel to Freddy's Dead. If you said Mike Flanagan's directing a new Nightmare movie, I'd
It'd
be like,
awesome.
I'm in. I'm in.
Yeah. Nick, you mentioned a few months ago that Robert Englund was likely to come back for a new Nightmare movie. Is that still happening? Asks Brooklyn. Why?
Christian, your internet
people.
Your internet pooped a little bit there.
I said, just hold it down. I'm just going to be safe and move into the living room by my router. Just hold it down, Nick.
All right. So, Brooke, last time I talked to Brad from Bloody Disgusting, he was non-committal on that, but he did say that is the last thing he had heard. And then obviously right around, I think it was October or November, like right around the Halloween Ends hype. And when you got like your first trailer for Scream 6 and stuff like that, I didn't even think we had the first trailer yet, but that hype train, legacy sequel hype train was going. And that's when Heather Langenkamp gave an interview and was like, I'd love to come back and, you know, revisit A Nightmare on Elm Street. So the last thing I had heard is that is what they wanted. They wanted to go the requel route. Now, whether or not that happens, I can't say. I mean, I'm not like plugged into that, but that's what the Craven estate wants to do. For better or worse. I mean, I know a lot of you guys, Freddy fans. I mean, you all know Freddy's not my number one. I know he's a lot of you guys listening's number one, and I know a lot of you guys are really protective of Robert, and rightfully so. I mean, how would you guys feel? Like if they go the requel route, is that what you want? Like, do you want Robert and Heather to come back? Because if they do that, they're going to have to erase Nightmare 3 from canon. And I know that would be a touchy subject for a lot of people. But yeah, I mean, I want to know your guys' thoughts on that. Me personally, I just feel like it makes too much sense. Money-wise, I guess. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with that. Like, is it necessarily like the first thing I would do? No. I mean, believe it or not, I'd make a sequel to 2010, a loose sequel, just in the sense of like bring Jackie Earle Haley back, give him a better script and less CGI, and see what he can do with that. But I just think it makes too much sense. I think they're going to go the requel route. And I'd be cool that. I mean, I like Heather. I like Robert, obviously like Nightmare, not as much as Christian, of course, but yeah, I mean, I'd be cool with it. But what say you, the chat? Mark says he'd rather have Lisa Wilcox. You know, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Is she a lot of your guys' favorite final girl in the series? Because I know a lot of people are not huge fans of Heather. Although I will say Heather definitely got better as the movies went on, particularly New Nightmare. I think she was really good in New Nightmare. I give her credit there. Jaden, hell no. Who's everybody's favorite final girl? Chat right now in the chat. You guys tell us who your favorite final girl is in the Nightmare on Elm Street series. I want to know. Lisa Wilcox from Jamie. All right. Heather, Jaden. Okay. All right. No, Bobby, it did. It did. The dream sequences were really, really solid. I actually liked the aesthetic of that movie quite a bit. Though there's a lot of people that are not fans of Heather. I mean, I have found it watching reviews and listening to podcasts talking about the Nightmare movies, and people just dump on her for her performance in the original. Like, just dump on her. I don't think she's bad. I just think she's not particularly good. She's just kind of there. By the time you get to 3, I think she's solid. And then in New Nightmare, I think she's actually really good. I think she shows she can act in New Nightmare. Christian's back. Thank God.
Talking Nightmare while I'm gone.
They were going to leave. I mean, I was asking everybody who their favorite final girl is in the Nightmare series. I mean, who's yours?
Mark Patton.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I knew you weren't going to have a vanilla answer like Nancy. Like, I knew that was not going to be your answer.
It's Mark Patton, dude. After that, I would say Alice for sure. But I'm joking, but I'm not. Like, Mark Patton is without a shadow of a doubt my favorite final girl from the series. Which she's not a girl. I know, but
yeah, but you're using the trope, so we get it.
She's the best. He's the best. Excuse me. But talking about Elm Street, I've come around to the idea of this. It's not really a secret. Most people have talked about this being a thing. I'm open to the idea of this. I got this new conditioner. My hair looks really good today, guys. This idea of this Robert Englund Elm Street, where I don't know if he would be green screened or if they would just put they use some kind of technology to make him look like Freddy without being Freddy. I mean, without having makeup on. You know, we've talked about this a lot, and the truth is just like, he's not exactly like having to be Bruce Lee in these movies. Why would it be a big deal? Anyway, like in terms of what he would have to do performance wise, like what would he be? What has he done in the previous movies that would be so tasking on him? I guess the hours that he was working, but besides that,
yeah, but if they bring him back for a requel, dude, that paycheck's gonna be fat. He'd probably do just about anything. That payday alone would be all he'd need for the rest of his life. So,
he was on one of these podcasts I like called Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum, and he was doing the interview over the internet from his house, and in his like office room, it's insane. If you look behind him, you can see like some of the molds from the set of like the first or second movie, and he has the coveted pinball machine in the corner of his. And I've always wanted that pinball machine. If people don't know what I'm talking about, I think it was Gottlieb made it in '94, and if you look it up, it is insane on the inside because they've got like everything from the Nightmare on Elm Street series is in this pinball machine, and there's like this little Freddy mouth. If you get the ball in the mouth, it spits it back out, and you get all kinds of points. And the artwork's so cool on it. I almost bought the marquee, which is the front face plate thing that goes on it that you can just get by itself. And I was gonna hang it on the wall in the horror room, but it was pretty expensive. So if you want one of those things in working condition, we're talking like $3,000 or $4,000. Those pinball machines are very, very expensive.
Christian, you got a lot of rabid fans. I'm sure someone will send you one. I'm sure.
Yeah, that'd be the day.
They send you shit. They don't send me anything. But Rudy, shout out Rudy. But yeah, no, dude. It's Christian, I think we should talk about this. I think we should. I saw something similar in the chat. Christian informed me that next week's Uneeda Horror Podcast episode is going to be Leprechaun related. Is that correct?
Yeah, I don't know how many I don't know if
I'm on In the Hood. That's where I'm at now.
Oh Jesus. It's funny because I don't know. I was thinking about it, and it seems like we typically just talk about this with the audience, like they're a part of the decision making, I guess. But I was wondering, should we just watch one and talk about the movies and then just end up talking about life like we usually do, or just talk about the series kind of like we used to do, where we would start with one, boom, 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 give our thoughts and like kind of rate it, if you will.
I think we should go movie by movie, give little mini reviews of it, what we liked, what we didn't like. Because, dude, I told Christian the last Leprechaun movie I'd seen was 4. I didn't watch anything after 4. I was just like, I don't need this shit. And that was my teenage self, because going back and watching these movies, I made that post on Instagram and people were like messaging me, dude. And they were like, dude, oh, that's a shame, man. I'm sorry. Like, cause 3's fun. Like 3's, I was like, guys, I wasn't saying I didn't like it. I was just like, Christian, cause I know it's about to get shitty.
Yeah.
Like, I know
so,
it's coming.
so people thought you were saying 3 was bad or something. I figured you were joking.
No, I had fun. I had fun with 3. Like, I remember when I was younger, I had enough fun with the first 4 movies, but then I saw where they went. And I'm like, okay, this just seems like we're getting into territory where it's not even going to be remotely scary. And now as an adult, I'm like, that's fun though. That's kind of cool. So like, I'm excited for that. But yeah, no, 3 was fun. The only complaint, man, I don't know. I'm not going to say it. I texted Christian this, but the lead girl in 3.
She needed to lose
she she was quite attractive. I was definitely a fan.
It's it's crazy thinking back. I want to say the first movie was shot in like 90 or 91, but it didn't come out till 93. And it's so bizarre watching back and seeing Jennifer in that first movie. That's the most, like, because there's a lot of actors that start out in horror and they break through. There's a slasher movie. It's either called He Knows You're Alone or something, but Tom Hanks is in it. And he was so good in the movie, the producers said, no, don't kill him. We don't want to kill him in the movie. Because he just acted, he was so charming. He had that Tom Hanks, way about him. And then he went on to be a big movie. But that was a really minor thing. Leprechaun is, it's not an A series, but I would say it's a B, maybe at a C at the lowest. When you look at the pantheon of, he's not in the same row of Michael and Freddy, but he might be the row back or maybe one row behind him.
Yeah, he's a couple rows back, because I would say after that you have like Saw and Chucky and Ghostface, and then it's probably like, I'm just talking based off of popularity, guys,
right?
Not where I would rank them. And then you'd probably have like Pinhead and people like that, and then you'd probably get to Leprechaun, because the most successful Leprechaun movie made $8 million. Now, it was on a $1 million budget, so they made quite a healthy profit, and only 2 of the movies went to theaters. So it's just not very popular. So maybe that episode a ton of people won't watch. We don't really give a shit, because it's St. Patrick's Day week. It's
well, we never done an episode on it either.
St. Patrick's Day, right?
That's the plan, sure. And we've never done a Leprechaun episode before. And honestly, like it's fun to watch. I typically will watch one a year, and I've always like been like, oh, dude, 4 is a masterpiece. It's not. Now it's pretty bad, but it's funny when you watch it with friends. But like,
dude, when the leprechaun was coming out of that dude's dick, I was like, what is happening? I was honestly kind of mad, because I was like, this chick was literally about to, like, we were about to see some stuff, and the leprechaun had to, ruin the party. But no, I literally kept thinking about that. I was watching, and I was like, Christian literally made a note on Instagram. Leprechaun 4 is a masterpiece.
I know, and I was hoping you would say. Somebody brought something up. Where does Candyman rank for you, B or C? I would say B.
I'd say B as well. I think that the first movie is a classic, probably my favorite 90s horror film. Like, seriously. And I think the requel, I really enjoyed that movie. Farewell to the Flesh is a fun B slasher movie.
Mm-hmm.
And Day of the Dead is awful, like just truly awful. But I mean, 2 of them I'd say are great movies, and one of them is pretty good. So yeah, and not just that, it's fucking Tony Todd, dude. Like, it's Tony Todd.
I was thinking about that earlier. I was well, the reason people are giving us shit because we didn't put Candyman in I just don't think there's for me for a character to be in the A zone, they've got to go the distance. It's
popularity too. It's like social media, box office. Like, guys, I mean, Candyman 2021 did what, like 70 million or so worldwide. Scream 6 is about to make 50 plus opening weekend worldwide, just in the opening weekend. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that I don't think he's on par with them. I just mean he's not as popular in the zeitgeist. He's just not.
Right. Well, and I think that he doesn't. Candyman it never went the distance in terms of just like success after success, the way Michael, Freddy, and Jason, and even Leatherface to a certain extent did. The second movie, granted, it came out way too late. Really, the first movie came out too late if you think about it. If Candyman would have came out 3 or 4 years beforehand, then you had a couple sequels under it, they probably would have been pretty popular. But I don't know. I still would put him in the second row. because he doesn't have enough movies to have proven it could have been a really, really successful franchise. To me, that's what makes it an A character, is somebody that can go the distance. Box office receipt wise.
I gotta say, I think that part of the criteria, also, like someone mentioned the Mount Rushmore, that's kind of what I think of. Like, there's probably only 4 or 5 that are in the A. Like, there's only a few spots there. And I feel like part of the criteria for that, in my opinion, is you needed to like rule a decade. Like, and Jason ruled the first half of the 80s, and Freddy ruled from 84 to 91. Michael ruled in this decade, the 2010s, like from 2018 to where we are now. Like, there had to be a decade or 5, 6, 7 year span where you were just pumping out movies that were just bona fide hits.
Right.
I think that's how you get into the A.
Yeah, that's what I think too. But what I wanted to talk about was kind of like looking back about movies, some of the requels that have come out in the last 5 or 6 years, and looking back at some of them, that how if my mind has changed on them, or just movies that have not even requels, really just some of the movies that have come out in the last 5 or 6 years, and if my mind has changed on them. One of the ones I ended up really liking was Get Out. I don't want to even say that I didn't like it the first time. I think part of it was just like, oh, everybody's saying this is so good. Everybody's saying this is so good. And I like Jordan a lot. I loved Key and Peele so much. I watched that all the time on Comedy Central when it was coming out. And so when people were just like, oh, this is the best thing since sliced bread, I probably watched the movie with my arms folded a little bit. And then I said I liked Us a lot more at the time, but I really don't think it's that close anymore. I think Get Out is what I worry about is that Get Out will be his best film. And he will be chasing it ever since.
I think we're already there, honestly. I really do. And I love Get Out. Probably one of my favorite horror movies of the 2010s. I think it's a really good movie. It's a great movie, but I was let down by Us. Nope was a step up from Us, but I still wouldn't put it in the pantheon, the tier of Get Out. I'm wondering if he did peak with his first one, and he's going to be chasing that dragon. I mean, a lot of people say that about Carpenter. Technically, Assault on Precinct 13 was his first one, but his first commercial one, ended up being commercial at least, was Halloween. And a lot of people would say, a lot of Halloween fans would say he was chasing that forever. I disagree, because I think he at worst replicated it with The Thing. Although they didn't get the attention at the time that Halloween did, I would say The Thing is just as good, if not better, of a film. I think you could make that argument. But yeah, that happens with directors sometimes, man. It really does.
What, let me ask everybody this question. I've talked to a number of people. I think my wife had a different opinion. What the fuck was, and look, Nope has been out now for well over a year, and it's been on physical media. So I'm about to talk about the ending. If we have 100+ people in here, so I just want to be frank and say I'm going to talk about the ending of this movie. So I just warning you. I'm warning you. What the fuck was the thing at the end? I have a friend that says the whole movie's a metaphor. The whole the thing at the end, it's a movie screen.
Yes.
Yeah, so has that been confirmed by Peele? Has he talked about that?
It's symbolic. Like, it's supposed to basically be a play on how Hollywood, like, just Californication, like Hollywood, how films in the industry can take something people or something so pure and suck it dry of everything. I mean, I know I'm missing some of the layers here, guys. Somebody in the chat, like, expand more on it, but that was the idea. The idea was for it to mirror a film screen and for it to kind of be a commentary on Hollywood as an industry as a whole, which is a really interesting take, because he is Hollywood. Like, I mean, so he's kind of shitting on his own industry, but that's, I think, what makes a director that he has something to say. And I dig that. I really dig that. So yeah, but that's what it was supposed to be.
My thing with Nope is a few things. I think my favorite parts about the movie really had nothing to do with the movie. For instance, like that crazy monkey, I would watch a whole movie about that.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, the scariest scene in the movie to me was when the main guy was like looking around like his barn or whatever, and you saw
Yes,
those aliens for a second. That shit freaked me out.
In the theater, I was like, dude, we're like a half hour into this movie. This is already going to happen. Like, this is awesome. And then I was like, wait, what? I was pissed. I was kind of pissed.
I was pissed too.
I was like, that was so good. Like, oh.
Yeah, because at the time I was like, I'll give him credit for swerving me, but it's almost like when Aerosmith starts playing Dream On at the concert, and then they just stop. And they're like, no, we're gonna play a B-side from Toys in the Attic, and the crowd just is like, oh fuck, that's the way it felt now. So I haven't had the desire to go back and really honestly rewatch Nope, to be honest with you, and I never bought it. I don't want to buy it really. I don't think it's a bad movie, but I just don't really want to. I don't care to watch that one again that much, to be honest with you.
I haven't had the desire to go back and watch it either, but it wasn't because I didn't like it. It was just like it. I just don't feel like it has a ton of rewatch value.
No.
And that's not to put it down, because I think it's super well acted, well shot. Like the sound design is great. Like there's some really good shit in that movie. But it's like one of those movies that you watch and you're like, all right, cool. Like all right. Like if you make a sequel, maybe I'll go back and watch the first one again. But it was solid.
I don't know if you've seen it, Nick. It's out digitally, but I saw The Whale, and to no surprise, it was fucking incredible. I don't know if I've seen other Darren Aronofsky films. I think I have. I just didn't realize he was the director of it. But yeah, to no surprise, Brendan Fraser was fantastic in The Whale. I can't imagine anybody's going to say they're not going to be in love with that movie.
I have not seen it, but I also have not seen, and here we go. People in the chat are going to get mad. I still have not seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, which was all the rage last year. So somebody actually sent me a digital code for it. I still need to get around to watching it because I've yet to hear one person say they didn't at least mildly like it. Like
it's wild.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard stuff about like butt plugs and penises and hot dog fingers and stuff. So like, I'm sure there's stuff I'll like, but yeah.
What did I just say? Christian, are you getting Megan unrated version? I don't know. Like it's on Peacock, and I'm still not there with this movie, guys. Like I'm ready to move on from Megan. I just don't see what people are saying. I can't believe James Wan produced this, to be honest with you. I don't know. I'm passing on Megan, guys. Nick, you should still see it. It's on Peacock and everything. The unrated version is too.
I'm going to.
Yeah, it's the unrated version.
Yeah, but I heard what the differences in the unrated version are, and it's like seriously. Like seriously, that's the differences.
Yeah,
there's
I'm sure
like
pretty minute.
4 seconds of extended gore, and then like 6 or 7 F-bombs, and that's what made it unrated. Yeah. I was like, you gotta be shitting me.
Kevin, I did think it was fine, but it's just I'm done. Like I'm moving on. Like I'm not gonna buy it or anything. I don't, It's just I saw it and then I'm good. So.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, what happened to the days where unrated actually meant something? Like Dream Child. Like, watch that unrated footage, guys. It's fucking gross. Like, it's gross. Like, Dan's kill, so much better. And Greta's kill, literally being fed her own intestines. Like, yeah, it's alluded to in the theatrical cut, but the MPAA would not allow you to really see it happen. No, that uncut footage, boy, you see it. Like, that's the kind of shit that makes an unrated cut. Like, this kind of stuff.
I really appreciate it when they don't milk the viewers or milk the fans. Like when you get like Evil Dead came out, the remake, they released that on Blu-ray, and then like a number of years later, then they released it uncut. I'm just like, why didn't they just release it uncut to begin with? That Rob was always pretty good about doing that. Here we go, Rob Zombie. But like he was really good about just like when his movies were coming out, boom, unrated cuts. So it's like I wonder why directors don't push for that more sometimes. I mean, granted, Megan did it good. They just here's the unrated version of the movie.
Well, Rob does that with every movie. Like Rob intentionally, he films everything. Like he everything he wants to film, he films because basically his frame of mind is it'll make the unrated. So I don't care if it makes it in the theater. And Rob knows that his fans are going to go out and buy the unrated, and he's right. They will. So
yeah. Is there talks already about Scream 6 if there's going to be? Because again, I mean, without spoiling anything, I can't because I don't know. But Akeem said it was really bloody and intense. I wonder if there's possibly a chance of that having an unrated cut down the road, or is if in 2023 rated R is really not. It's really not that hard to get anymore.
It's not even just that. Scream, I think, can get away with that because they don't have a lot of other stuff. You don't see a lot of drug use, or you don't see any nudity in any of the Scream movies. They don't push the envelope. So the only thing that the MPAA looks at is really the gore. And I mean, Scream movies, when most of your kills are with a buck knife, it's just nowhere near as gory as some of these other ones. And that's fine. I mean, it would be unrealistic if you were beheading people with a buck knife. You know, like it just doesn't make sense. But I don't really know if they had to ever skirt anything with these movies, honestly, because it's like, well, we're not showing boobies. We don't have a bunch of kids getting high. So like, it's really just blood. So I don't think so. I mean, 5 didn't have an unrated.
No, it didn't.
Yeah. So no, probably not. I would assume everything they wanted in the movie is probably there.
Yeah. Y'all get out of here. Sorry, my dogs are right here drinking water. See what the chat is saying. We'll get the chat involved. Let's see. No, Infinity Pool, I've got to see. That's a Darren Aronofsky film. People say that movie's really, really, really bleak.
Infinity Pool, that's Brandon Cronenberg.
Okay, no, I'm thinking of Requiem for a Dream. I don't know how I got those confused. That's Darren Aronofsky.
Yeah.
Infinity Pool, I want to see. That has Goth in it, right?
Uh-huh. I haven't seen it yet. Is it on streaming yet on any service?
No, I think it was
VOD, right?
It may be soon because nowadays it seems like these movies are going to VOD pretty damn quick, but it might have just still been in the theaters. Ash versus Dead animated series. Oh, don't care.
Yeah. I really would not want to see that.
PlayStation. The PlayStation Store just put up Evil Dead the game, which I know you're probably long past that, but I was going to start trying to.
I maxed out all the playable characters. I maxed them all out. I was like, I can't do anything anymore in this game. Like, so yeah.
Now, do they have actual characters from the movie like licensed, or do they just get lookalikes or something?
No. Yes, they've got Bruce Campbell does the voice. The dude who played Pablo in the show, he does the voice. The girl who played Kelly, she does the voice. Every character from a previous movie or Ash versus Evil Dead, it is that character, and most of them voice that character. So, yeah, it's actually pretty cool.
What's up, Dead Pit? What's up, boys? Y'all excited for another Poltergeist remake? I am. Are they making another Oh, you son of a bitch! He said, "Just kidding."
No. He's saying, "Just kidding" about being excited for it because Amazon, I guess.
Oh, they are making one.
But they said that bringing back Poltergeist is like at the top of their list. They didn't say how, they didn't say when, they didn't say why, but they did say it's at the top of their list of things they want to get done now that they've acquired MGM. Honestly, the way I look at it is nothing's ever going to touch that first movie. That first movie is one of the scariest movies from my childhood. I fucking love that movie. That remake sucked donkey dick.
Might be my worst remake ever.
Yeah, but having said that, I mean, you can't do any worse than that remake, I don't think. So, like, I don't know. Maybe we go the requel route with Poltergeist too. I don't know. But yeah, I would not say I'm looking forward to them touching Poltergeist. No.
Somebody just said we just lost Tom Sizemore. Wow.
Yeah, a couple days ago.
He had a hell of a career. Heat, Saving Private Ryan, Black Hawk Down, Natural Born Killers. Have you seen Natural Born Killers? Remember that movie?
Yeah.
With what's that broad's name in the movie? It's Woody Harrelson and what's the girl's name?
Someone in the chat's gonna say it in like 2 seconds. Who is it,
Juliette-
guys?
Juliette Lewis. That's a good
okay.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always forget that. I always think that that's a Quentin Tarantino movie, but he didn't direct it. He just wrote it.
Yeah,
damn
Mark.
good movie.
I think it would be because Heather O'Rourke is gone. But I was just putting it out there, like, you know, any of the avenues they could feasibly go down. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't want him to touch it, but at the same time, I'm excited for The Exorcist this year, and some people think I'm fucking crazy for being excited for it.
Well, there's this. You don't know where it's going because it's clear that David Gordon Green doesn't have a map. He just throws shit at the wall.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know about that. I do think that narrative got pushed by a lot of people because they were unhappy with where certain things went, and maybe certain ideas weren't super fleshed out. But regardless, it's, you know, the Halloween series aside, like we don't know what they may or may not have mapped out for The Exorcist and where this story's even going to really go. But it was a really big acquisition. It was like a $400 or $500 million purchase for a new trilogy. So like they've got to have some kind of faith in it. And, you know, some of the things that Christian and I have been made aware of that aren't public yet, but will be, tell you why they might have some optimism, like that this could be a big hit. And I do think it will be a big hit. I really do. Also, dude, we got to think, like, as much as you and I aren't crazy about Halloween 2018, most people were, which is weird because, like, that movie did super well critically with the fans and commercially. Like, so there's reason to believe that this first Exorcist sequel is going to do the same thing. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if David Gordon Green does it with this first sequel too.
Yeah, I mean, I fall into the narrative as I think he doesn't have I say he doesn't have a plan. It's just I don't know what the hell it's going to be. It's just like I can't expect anything. Like,
I like
where
the secretive nature. I like it though.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it. I do. I don't want to know shit until I see a trailer. And even when I see the trailer, don't show me too much. Like,
yeah.
I know, right? Well, Christian said he likes when the camera's far away, Garrett, so you can see my posters more.
Mm-hmm. I miss the Scream posters. I wish you'd put those Scream posters back up.
I think they're going to go back up when I do my Scream 6 review and the Scream stream this weekend. I think I'm going to put some Scream posters up.
I don't think not a lot of people have a lot of faith in David Gordon Green with The Exorcist. I'm excited just in the sense of like, oh my God, I can't wait to see what they're going to do.
And that's fine. I mean, I really do think he's going to do a good job. I mean, David's a really good director. Like, I mean, say what you will about one thing is that new Halloween trilogy, there's a movie in that trilogy, at least one movie that most people would say that they like. Like, I fucking love Ends. A lot of people love 2018. A lot of people love Kills. Well, he directed all three. So if you like any one of those three movies, he's made a movie you like. Also, Pineapple Express is awesome. It's like one of my favorite comedies ever.
That is a great movie.
It kicks ass. Like,
yeah,
he's a good director. He is. Like,
I don't doubt that.
Really it's not about David. It's about the writing, and it's about just the story in general. Like, what is this story going to be? Like, where are we going with The Exorcist from here? Can't be worse than fucking Dominion and whatever that shit was. I don't even. Exorcist the beginning, Dominion, whichever one. Neither one of them were very good.
Yeah, it's a weird situation because when you have a franchise where the highs are undeniably high, there's two routes you can go. You just keep constantly making them, so where it's just like, oh well, maybe this next one will be good, and if not, whatever. Kind of like Halloween or Hellraiser, but when you don't have a whole lot, most people have only seen the first Hellraiser. I would argue. I would argue most people.
They're missing out on the best one.
I agree. Exorcist 3. But
I was talking about Hellraiser, but you said Hellraiser. Did you mean to say The Exorcist?
I meant to say The Exorcist. I would argue most people.
Well, that's because The Heretic sucked, and everybody hated The Heretic.
I know.
Like, it's
I know,
not
but
good.
But I'm saying today, because most people were swimming in weren't even swimming in their daddy's nuts yet that are watching the show probably. including us.
Oh yeah.
So like it fell by the wayside. So it's just like when people think of The Exorcist, they think of that amazing first movie. So people are gonna, even though people don't know what to expect, like me, they do expect quality, and so people are gonna be fucking mad if this thing is not good. I could tell you that much right now. They're gonna be fucking pissed off.
I'll tell you guys, I've said this before on the show, and Christian and I heard it backstage, I guess you'd say, with Sean Clark, and Sean said, from what Christopher Nelson has shown him and told him, he has confidence in it. And y'all know Sean Clark. If you know him at all, you know that he's a straight shooter. Like he'll tell you. Like he will tell you. Sean's curse is that he'll overshare sometimes. Like he will. And he doesn't like something, he'll tell you, no, that was dog shit. And he has seen some of the props that Chris made up, and he's kind of he's like, I think it's gonna be good.
See, that's a good sign that there's props.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're actually, maybe there's maybe they'll go Amityville like this, and they'll put like little monsters and shit in a movie. See, that's another one that I'm ready for another good one. Like, damn it, man. Let's put some respect back on. There's that new Children of the Corn movie that people say is so bad. It
needs to be done. I mean, that series seriously needs to be
done. Stick a fork in the corn.
It's just done. It's done, man. Like, I don't even think Stephen King wants his name associated with those movies anymore, because they're just, most of them.
I don't think he is associated with those movies.
No, but they put on the posters, from the mind of Stephen King. Like, I'd fucking sue if I were him. I'd be like, no, it's not. This didn't even come out of, who was that quote? That didn't even come out of my ass. Like, oh, it was Clive Barker. When they put his on Revelations, yes, on the Revelations poster, they said from the mind of Clive Barker, and he literally like made a tweet about it years ago and was like, this didn't even come from my like asshole or something. And it's like, yeah.
Oh man. Oh shit. Yeah, people were saying, I think Justin, Movie Watch Daily, saw it, and he was like, dude, I think this is the worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
I'll never see it, because I know it's going to be a torturous experience. I'll never watch it.
It's sad when like Jeepers Creepers Reborn would probably be considered, a masterpiece compared to Children of the Corn, whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, but Reborn was so bad it was kind of fun. So like, whatever.
That's the way I feel about it.
Yeah, it ain't winning awards, but it was so schlocky and dumb that I had a mildly good time.
Where else you want to go tonight, Nick?
Well, we're talking about, before we get off the Exorcist topic really quick, I do just want to say, because a lot of people are talking about it in the chat.
Sure, go ahead.
I just think personally, most general audiences, because we live in a bubble as like hardcore horror, whatever you'd want to call people like us and like
Bubble
you
Boy.
guys watching.
Remember that movie? Remember Bubble Boy?
Yeah, of course, Jake Gyllenhaal.
I love that movie.
Like no matter what you think, like I know most of us really appreciate The Exorcist 3, but mainstream audiences, the only Exorcist movie they care about is the original. It's the only one.
Agreed.
So I think most mainstream audiences are going to say this new movie is going to be the second best of the series. Critics, it's probably going to do well with critics, because they're going to be like, well, it's the second best one this year. I would probably disagree, because I think The Exorcist 3 is criminally underrated, but still, like, it's not a high, like the bar has been set very low,
right,
for The Exorcist.
Now, hold on. Did you say that you said Peacock bought them, right?
Yeah.
Now, does that mean they're going to just do streaming, or is there I mean, do we not know
No, this
yet?
is going to theaters. It's going to theater, which blew my mind, because I was like, this was a Peacock thing. So I'm thinking they're going to do what they did with Kills and Ends. I think they're going to do both.
Stupid.
They're going to put it out in theaters and have a day and date, which is dumb as fuck. Or it's going to be exclusive rights, to where it's going to go in theaters, and then after a few weeks, it'll go on Peacock. So
let me ask you this. It's a trilogy.
Yes.
It's going to do exactly box office what Halloween did.
Well, we don't know. I know that they have not started filming 2 or 3 yet, or whatever you'd call them. I guess 3 and 4, because this is a sequel to the first one. But I don't know if David Gordon Green's doing all 3. All I know is that he did the first one. It was initially pitched as a trilogy. Peacock bought a trilogy. I don't even know if David Gordon Green pitched a trilogy. He probably did, because it seems like David Gordon Green's just going to live in horror now,
Right.
which is fine.
Which it could be one of those things where if the first one doesn't do what they want it to, they could pull the plug, man. But the thing is, it will. It's gonna make a lot of money.
I would honestly, if it doesn't go to Peacock, like day and date, I'm saying it right now. This new Exorcist movie will do close to what Halloween 2018 did, over $200 million. I'm saying it right now.
I think it'll beat it.
And it could very well beat it. And people are like, oh, I don't know.
No, this is The Exorcist.
It's one of the most revered horror films of all time.
It'd be a monster.
Take a look at the Conjuring movies, especially a lot of like Christians that don't normally see horror movies. They go to movies like this because it tests their faith. Like I'm serious. I'm dead fucking serious. So like, yes, this movie's going to be huge if it's not day and date. It's going to be huge.
Campfire Haven, $10 super chat. Thank you very much. The best way to end the night is with some Uneeda. Great stream, guys. Totally stoked for Evil Dead Rise. What do you think of the idea of the Evil Dead universe taking on the Predator route? Is that something that's happening, or is that just something that Campfire is just inquiring about, like a movie like
I don't know.
That's a good question. I can tell you this. I watched Prey again. I fucking love that movie. I really do.
No, it's incredible. It's an awesome movie.
I thought that movie was really good the second time I watched it. It's like Turok a little bit. Remember those games I played when I was a kid for Nintendo?
Dude, I literally just went back and beat those games again.
Yeah. And it's got that Turok dinosaur hunter vibe kind of thing going on. Mm-hmm. I like Prey. That could be my second or third favorite one. I mean, I love the first one. I like 2. I like it probably as much as 2. It's a damn good movie, and I'm not really like super protective over the look of the Predators and stuff of that. I don't really have like a kinship to the character of the Predator as much, because I always tell people, you may not love the Predator, the first movie. You got to realize that's an Arnold Schwarzenegger film. That's probably a big part of why you love it. It's not just, it's the Predators. That's an Arnold Schwarzenegger film, which I think is something that, you got to take into consideration. Not that the Predator doesn't look fucking great in that first movie, but I don't have like this allegiance to where they have to look the exact same way about something as the first movie. But in terms of just like a damn good movie, I thought Prey was just bad to the bone, and it's just a shame. I would have died to have seen that in the theater. Would have loved to have seen it.
Yeah, I look, man, I don't know what 20th Century Fox is doing. I really don't.
That's Disney, right?
Yeah. Is it because it was an R-rated movie? Like, is it? I think they had a deal with Hulu, so that was like part of it. But like, dude, can we just can we not? Like, can we stop this? Like, I understand why this was all the rage 2 years ago. It's not anymore. Like, movies are back. Like, theaters are back. And like, we got to stop living in this bubble of like, well, we got used to putting everything day and date or just making it for streaming movie. Look at Hellraiser 2022. That movie could have jump-started new sequels in the Hellraiser franchise, but we're never going to know because it's never going to get a sequel because it didn't go to theaters to make any fucking money.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just like, there's no way to gauge the success. Like, well, it was watched a lot in its first week. Okay. And you could have made tens of millions of dollars putting it in theaters. Yeah. It's bullshit, man. Like, I'm just over it. Like, and what's going to happen with the Predator franchise? Prey was a great movie. Doesn't have any box office receipts. So who knows if they'll move forward with it? Maybe another 10 years and we'll just get another reboot. We don't need that. Like, this is a good foundation to build off of. Let's do another one. Like, come on. Like, what are we waiting for? It's stupid.
I know, it really, it's sad because it's like, how do you gauge? That's another thing is, how do these, I want to understand the business of the streaming crap. How do these people make money with streaming deals and stuff? And, there was talk about they were going to make more Texas Chainsaw Massacre films because that one had a lot of people watched it on Netflix, but what are the metrics for that anymore?
It means nothing. I mean,
It
it
doesn't.
really means nothing. What a lot of people don't understand is when it comes to these streaming movies and these shows, the profitability is not based off of how much it's watched. They do look at how much things are watched to see if it's in demand, but they don't make any money off of that. What they make money off of is the initial purchase. The initial
Right.
purchase of like, we're purchasing this property that is worth this much, that this much money went into. We're only purchasing it for this much. So in a weird kind of tax write-off, weird fucking corporate way, they're making a little bit of money here, a little bit of money there for purchasing things at a discounted rate. And then they put it out and a lot of people watch it. And that's great. But yes, Akeem, Disney Plus is different. Like,
Well, I
Disney
want
as a
to
whole,
have this
they're the fucking-
conversation.
Yeah.
I want to have this conversation with Akeem. I'm so inclined to want to understand the metrics of the streaming industry.
But like, for example, I know with Hellraiser, with Hulu's deal with it, they made money off of the purchase. I do know that for a fact. I can't remember what the net was. They netted a few million off of the purchase. So it was already profitable for Hulu.
Right.
And then they just put it out into the world. And it was the third most watched thing on Hulu the week it came out, which, guys, this is a fucking Hellraiser reboot. That's a pretty big deal. Like, Hellraiser's not Freddie, Michael, or Jason. Like, that's a big deal. And still, they're not doing anything with it. Because the way Hulu was like, is like, we made our money when we purchased it. Like, we don't need to do anything else. Like, I mean, if another company wants to come along and make a sequel to it and put it in theaters, cool, good for them. But yeah, I mean, it's also, I think a thing that Disney Plus does that's a lot of these streaming services don't do that benefits them is, and I kind of get pissed off by it, but I don't know because we've been spoiled, weekly release. You got to keep your subscription if a season of a show is going on for 3 months.
Right.
You got to keep it. Whereas Stranger Things comes out, watch it all in a week and say, fuck you, Netflix. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Well, what are your thoughts on the Netflix? Is that going to happen? Because I know they started doing that in some other countries, this like internet-based subscription model where like you're going to be locked basically to prevent password sharing. They're taking measures to stop it. I wonder if that's going to come to America because the outrage for that has been pretty loud. And
don't be surprised if it does.
Yeah.
But I will say this about that. If that is your way that you're going to compete in the streaming wars, good luck. Good luck. If you really think that's going to make
PR.
Not only is it bad PR, it's not going to make enough of a difference. It's just really not. Like, I mean, a single Netflix subscription is really not that much money. And if there's a specific show that somebody wants to watch, Stranger Things, for example, they're going to start a subscription for a week and then cancel it. They'll pay 1 month to see a show if they really want to watch it, but they're not going to keep the service. So I just don't know where Netflix gets off thinking this is going to change life for their company. But hey, if you want the backlash from people, have at it.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Damn it, I had something I was just about to bring up and now I can't remember what it was. Son of a bitch. Oh, I had a few people send me a picture of something and I wanted you to check with your guy from Spirit. The big thing this year is they're going to do Sidesteppers, and my phone's in the movie room, but the big thing that they're talking about this year is having these little Sidesteppers of Ghostface, Leatherface, and Chucky. Now somebody sent me pictures and they look legitimate pictures of a Leatherface Sidestepper and a Ghostface Sidestepper. So can you find out if those are legitimate? Because the Leatherface one looked really cool and it had a picture. It had Pretty Lady mask on him.
Well, I can tell you, I talked to him a week ago and he just got back from New Jersey a little over a week ago. So they had their annual beginning of the year meeting. So if that kind of stuff just came out that you got pictures of, that would kind of honestly be perfect timing because they just had their meeting of what they're rolling out for this year. So I will follow up with him. I know he's in bed right now because he gets up at the ass crack of dawn. But I'll follow up with him and see what he has to say. I mean, I know he'll tell me if that's true or not, and I'll let you know. So, you can run with that and be like, hey guys, these are coming. But yeah, they just had their corporate visit. Usually at the end of February is when all the zone managers and whatnot, they all go to New Jersey to the fucking home ship. And basically they meet with the president and CEO and everybody, and everything gets rolled out that they're doing this year. They get word of everything they're doing. And, I would assume there's got to be some big Ghostface tie-ins this year.
Yeah.
I would think.
Not that I want to talk about him per se on our show, but somebody just said that they saw that Lee didn't like Scream 6, and somebody said, whoa, that's nuts. Lee usually loves everything.
Oh, no shit. Really?
I mean, I'm not watching any review till I see it, spoiler free or not, but
no. But I'm going to go to his Twitter right now just to see if he made a tweet about it, because I'm doing that stream with him Friday. And
there's a video on YouTube of the Leatherface Sidestepper for Halloween 2023. Oh, nice. Yeah. It looked really cool because it had a pretty lady's face mask on it and everything. So I was like,
Guys,
oh, that's so cool.
The screenshot for Lee out of the theater doesn't look very promising. He doesn't look happy.
I don't know. Lee, I don't, he didn't like Spiral, and he broke my heart on that one.
You like
anyway,
Spiral?
Sure, it's fine. It's fine for like the 13th Saw or whatever it was. I wish Tubi wouldn't edit their movies down to nothing. What do you mean? Tubi's awesome. Tubi has everything.
Has hobgoblins.
It's got, I'm still waiting for like that $800 so we could do Hobgoblin. I can't believe Hobgoblins 2 got made. Apparently a bunch of people did like a GoFundMe for that movie, and they paid the director all this money.
Yeah, was Jaden one of them? Did Jaden pitch in?
Jaden says, dude, Spencer's has some really nice realistic Chucky and Tiffany dolls for like $70. Can we get one for Leprechaun? He has no collectibles. I haven't been in. Have you been in Spencer's in a while? I mean, I haven't been in Spencer's in some time, honestly.
Oh dear, no, I haven't been in a really long time.
You worked there, right?
Yeah, I was a shift supervisor there.
All right, look, we're at an hour and 11 minutes. We still got a little bit to go. Let's just do some story time and just let's have a good rest of the show. Tell me the average day of working at Spencer's and the ups and downs, and was it even a good job to have? I'm serious, because I would imagine working at Spirit would be a much better place, but then again, may not. I think it could depend on who you're working with at Spirit too.
No, that's not true, Jaden. Spencer's was, it was the Spirit. I was surrounded by Halloween stuff, and I got to dress up all the time while I was at work and listen to Halloween music. And like, I could give people advice on all this shit because it was like my favorite stuff. Like it's still my favorite job I've ever had. Spencer sucked. I mean, it sucked because Spencer's are always in the mall. It's a smaller store. It's very confined. You're dealing with, I would say 75% of the foot traffic you get in your store, they're not even buying anything. It's just teenagers, it's kids. You're just not as passionate about the stuff because half of the stuff they sell in the store, you just don't give a shit about. It's just very monotonous. No, I did not like working at Spencer's. I have some stories that are quite insane. The girl that I dated from 17 to 19, I had to work on Black Friday. And I had to work from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. I got the shit shift. And she came in at like 3 a.m. to shop on Black Friday that night with the guy that her and I were still together, that she was cheating on me with at that time, and came in that day to break up with me on Friday while I was working, while she was with the dude she was cheating on me with. So that was a fun story. We had an associate get fired because he went one night on a late night shift. I can't remember if it was a holiday or something where we were open later and they were slower. And he took a fleshlight and went into the office and fucked the fleshlight. and then and then put it back. And didn't think anybody would know, even though we had to like check a lot of these things. And the seal was broken, obviously. And then, all it took was a good look at the cameras, and we saw that.
No, who has the conversation with this guy?
That was corporate.
Corporate?
Yeah. They brought one of the big wigs from corporate. Her name was Lisa. She was a bitch. Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah, no. And, but I mean, she was definitely right to be a bitch in that instance. Cause that was, and actually, no, it was, that is not my story. I quit Spencer's, because one day in January, I was depressed as fuck because me and that girl had just broken up, and that was the longest relationship I'd ever had. And, so I did not have a desire to work. But one day I went there and I was on my way home, and I stopped at her place to try to talk to her. And in her apartment complex, my transmission went out. So
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So I had to have somebody come pick me up, and I had to leave my car in her apartment complex. And so that was awkward. And I called off the next day because I was like, my transmission went out. Like, I literally can't get there. And She was like, well, if you don't show up, you're fired. And I was like, all right, well, then I just quit. So,
and didn't you say that they tried to tell you, well, fuck you, you can't work for Spirit Halloween anymore?
Yep. Yeah. Since it's the sister company of Spencer's, they were like, well, if you quit Spencer's, then you're barred from Spirit. So there was a few years there where I could not work at Spirit, even though I wanted to. And I was just waiting for Steve to get his own manager job, because once he got his own manager job, he could override any of that. And he eventually got one of the year-round zone manager jobs, which there's only like 40 of. And he got one of them. And as soon as he did, he reached out to me, said, I'm a zone manager now. If you want to come back, I can override it. And I was like, cool. So I came back that following year.
Dude,
they fucking blacklisted me. And I didn't even fuck a fleshlight. Like
that's not, that they can forgive that.
Yeah, your transmission blew up, and your girlfriend in 2 years just dumped you. You kind of sucks right now. Like, and I get blacklisted. Fuck you.
Now let me ask you this: so, like, the people that would come in and buy sex toys, were they?
Oh my god! You just reminded me of another story that is pertinent to this.
Go ahead.
Once a month, we had an older woman come in, and she was a motherfucking cougar. Okay. And she came in once a month to buy a plethora of sex toys and lingerie and stuff like that. And she always came in like a leather fucking suit with high heels and everything.
Woman.
Like, this was a fucking dominatrix if I've ever seen one. But she was hot, and she was freaky, and she was very, very fun to talk to. But yeah, we saw her once a month. She probably kept us in business.
Did she ever make small talk, or was it she was like business, like she got in, she got what she needed, then she left? Or
yeah, I mean, she would talk to us. You could tell she didn't give a shit. Like, she was very confident in what she was doing. She knew what she was there for. We knew what she was there for. So it was just kind of like, I'm here to buy some fucking butt plugs and giant dildos. And we're just like, all right, you buy them. How's it going?
I remember when they would have like all the funny like happy birthday sex cards and stuff, and it would just be naked dudes with their wangs hanging down and stuff. And like, like when I go to Spencer's now, I need to go out of my way. I go maybe 2 or 3 times a year just because they'll have some cool horror stuff. But like back in the day, man, I just remember my buddy, we dared him to buy the candy thong.
Oh, hell yeah.
And he bought the candy thong, and I was
tastes like shit.
They do. They're disgusting.
Yeah.
We were in Drumline, and so we were playing a team where we had to go past. We were going to a city where the mall was, so the bus was taking us to the town, and we pulled into the mall to eat. They just dropped us off. We got out the bus to eat, and we're 16, 17-year-old idiot kids. So we go to the Spencer's and we convince everybody, dude, buy the candy thong. And so he buys it. And then we get back on the bus and we're going to the game, and we're all daring him to like just start eating the thong. And it was just the most disgusting, dude. It was the most disgusting thing. The thong was on like this, it was old too. It must've been on the shelf for a long time. It was like this yellow tinged string with like sweet tarts, but they were tasteless, and he's just eating the thing, and we're all just gagging. It was disgusting.
Yeah, no, those things are nasty. That was back in my prime, man. When I worked at Spencer's, I got one day this chick, when I was like 18, 19, 20, 21, that era, dude, I fucking loved alt girls. Like alt girls were my thing. Like if you came in, your hair was dyed, you had piercings and tattoos and stuff and like gauges, I was like, I love you. And there was one time this girl came in and she was walking around the store forever, just looking at stuff. And it's like, kept like looking at me. And I was like, dude, I'm just going to shoot my shot. So when she finally bought something, she came up and I wrote my number on the receipt and put it in the bag, which is heavily frowned upon. Don't do that. And I would never do that now, but she did end up texting me and I did end up taking her on a date. So that was, that was cool. I definitely hit on those girls at Spencer's. Yes. But I was like 19, fresh out of a breakup, Justin. So I was just kind of trying to sow my wild oats. Never got with the leather lady. Never got with I don't know if I would have been able to keep up. Some of the shit she bought, I did not want to be subjected to that.
Maybe she's watching.
Maybe
Leather lady, are you out there?
Yeah. I not her name either. I just felt like that would have been weird. Like, what's your name? Like, no. But yeah, there were some really cool stories from working at that place for a job that I hated so much. I mean, so much. It was awful. Like it sucked so bad. Don't work anywhere at a mall. Like
I've ran the gambit myself. I did the fast food restaurants. KFC was the sickest job I've ever had, but I never worked in a mall. I'm glad I didn't. I would imagine it would just ruin malls for you too. Like, you just never want to visit them anymore. Most people don't even go to malls anymore anyway, but
Devin, I didn't give you guys the end of that story with the person that I ended up giving my phone number to. So anyway, but the leather lady, yes, I don't know, maybe, but like the moment you pull out like a 2-foot double-sided dildo, like I'm going to be really scared and I'm going to want to go home. So yeah,
she might've just been a collector, dude.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, dude, no, it really does ruin malls for you because like you hear the same music over and over. You see the same people. You deal with a bunch of fucking shitty teenagers that are just coming into your store to steal shit. And like I hate having a job where most of our business isn't even business. It's just people walking in and wanting to look at shit and try to steal stuff. Like it's just awful. I hate it.
Did you see Portland, Oregon is shutting down the last like remaining Walmarts that they have because the theft is so bad that they're just like, fuck it. We can't do it. Man. They can fix that, Nick? They can fix that? Have fucking cashiers.
Yeah.
Have cashiers.
You got 25 fucking checkout lanes and one open. Open.
People just do the old, like they'll swipe one thing and then they'll reach around. They'll put it in, swipe, and then they'll like back it up so it doesn't hit that scan.
Dude, it's nationwide. Any Walmart you go to, there's one lane open. It doesn't make any sense.
Dude, the self-checkouts at my Walmart are backed up to the grocery section. Like, and there's never why do you have 74 cash registers if none of them are open?
But
it's hard to feel bad for Walmart. It really is hard to feel bad for them.
Fuck Walmart. That's a fucking cult. It's a cult.
You know what I mean?
And yeah. But it's not even just that. It's literally like,
okay. Well, Rudy said I was wrong. I just saw that they were closing stores. So excuse me if it was the last thing. I didn't realize Portland had
he's a Portland native.
Okay. So but still, they're shutting down Walmarts because of that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just insane. But let's keep hiring door greeters. Like
no, dude. I want to interview. This has nothing to do with horror, but I want to do an interview one day where we bring on people that did, what do you call it? Asset protection. Where the people have to like try to, dude. I think it's in San Francisco. If it's under $1,000, like, have you seen the people going into Walgreens with the backpacks and just loading shit up? Like, what the fuck is going on in this country, dude? It's crazy. They're just stealing shit, and they don't touch them.
This has been going on forever, though.
It has.
I mean, it's just like people just get more emboldened. Like, we're just a generation now where it's like, especially there's just a lot of people like we're a very entitled species. Like we just are.
Yeah.
Let's call it like it is. And like eventually you get away with something so much, people just get emboldened. They're like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm bringing in a duffel bag. So,
Dude,
like,
it's crazy, dude. The shit people try to steal. I don't know if you're the same way, dude. As I've gotten older, and it's not even necessarily, I don't even check the prices on the stuff anymore. I love shopping at Target. I love going into Target because it's comfortable. And like me and Sydney will go to Target we don't have one in our hometown, but we'll go to Target like every weekend or so, dude. And just the vibe in Target is unmatched. It's so chill. We'll just go in there and shop and walk around for like an hour, and it just feels so nice in there. I love Target.
Target's very nice. Target's very nice. I really do like Target. I've always really liked Target. But Jaden said it. It's not cheap. It definitely is not cheap. And will never be mistaken as such. But I really like Target a lot. Walmart, I just feel like as a company, they just don't care anymore. Like it just seems like they just don't give a shit. Like they're just kind of like, we're so I don't know, we're so big now, we're so profitable, who gives a shit? Like we're a Walmart.
Well, you know what I'm fixing to do, dude? Sydney's been bugging me about doing it, and I'm just going to do it. I got to get that damn Sam's card, that Sam's Club card, dude, and just go in there and buy groceries for a month.
You got a Costco card?
I don't have a Costco. I wish I had a Costco.
We have one in my town. I've been thinking about getting one forever. Like I really have been thinking, but I haven't done it yet.
I mean, whenever we go to visit her parents, like we'll go with them to Target and not Target to Sam's Club, and like you pay $50 for the year, and you go in there and do this. You get ready for this. This is what's awesome about Sam's Club. I can't believe we're getting more viewers while talking about this. Hello to all 131 of you guys. Please drop a like on the show if you don't mind. This is what's crazy. The last time we went to Sam's Club, Bill, which is my father-in-law, he has his phone on him. No. There's a scan thing on the carts now, and you sign into the app on your phone, and your phone will pull up this thing, and it's like a barcode. You scan the barcode on the phone with a scanner, boom. And so every time you pick something up that you want, and I guarantee you Costco probably does the same thing. As you're shopping and you put something in your cart, you scan it and it updates on your app, and you don't have to wait in line to check out. Once you're done and you have everything scanned, you can press pay on your phone and it'll pay it, and it'll show like a digital receipt, and you walk out, you show the woman by the door or the man, it's not always a woman, but if you show the person by the door your receipt, you don't have to wait in line anymore and sit like, dude, I'm fixing to just bring an ice chest with me when we go shopping, drive 25-30 minutes to my Sam's Club and get a month's worth of groceries. I'm just going to buy like 7 cases of those dinosaur nuggets and just call it a fucking day.
I have dino nuggets right now in the freezer.
Damn right.
Those are my kids' nuggets, and I eat them too. But
they're good.
Yeah, I just say they're for my kid. You've got to get the Tyson ones though.
Yes.
They're pricier, but I'm sorry. There's certain things I have to do.
You're damn right. Do you air fry them, or do you just put them in? We have an air fryer.
Dude, come on! Of course I air fry.
You got the air fryer, okay? Because I love my air fryer. I
like in the oven. I do like in the oven too, and I like them crispy. I don't know about you. I cook those suckers. I mean, I like some crunch.
Yeah, me too. What kind of fry guy are you? Do you get the Oritas, the Rallies?
It's the Rallies fries. It's still my favorite. I don't know. McDonald's fries are fucking fire when they're fresh. But yeah, I actually had Rallies for dinner tonight. So yeah, no, I really do like Rallies fries. That's usually I think I actually have a bag of those in my freezer right now.
What's the deal though? Because I've seen on my bag of them, it'll say Rallies Carl's Jr. Is that the same thing? And they just call it?
Yeah, it's regional. Yeah. So
why?
I don't know. In Florida, it's Carl's Jr. where my mom is, but it's the same. It's like the same menu. So like, I don't get it. All
right. Well, listen, we're at an hour and 30. Let's end the show on a bang. Top three.
Hold on. Before you ask that, I just wanted to let the audience know Christian had a new idea that we're going to be starting, guys.
I did.
Do you want to tell them about Breaking Bread?
Breaking Bread. Okay, so yeah, I brought Nick on this. of course, Nick, I was going to have Nick be on it, but I was like, well, if Nick's going to do it with me, we may as well make it a Uneeda thing. So I'm going to make this group DM thing so we can book a date, but it's going to be perceivably me, Nick, Brandon, Tabata Vision, maybe the entirety of the Red Pack, like Garrett, Justin, and Mel. I'm going to invite Piz Owl, and a few other people. And we're going to do a thing called Breaking Bread. And episode 1, I wanted it to be Burger King. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up a stream. And what I really think would be cool is if the people that watch, and if you watch the show with us and you get food too, send me a picture and we'll post it on obviously we'll post it on the Uneeda Instagram. So we're going to have dinner together and we're just going to talk. It's like we're all YouTubers. We all make videos. Why can't we break bread together? So we're going to have dinner and just do a show with each other. And it's going to be really fun. So I'm going to book that. I just thought it was a silly idea, but I was like, that sounds fun. And I think the audience would dig it too. So
yeah, you guys can see me get fat and pork out the fast food on stream. Yeah.
So I apologize.
You went in with a bang. What's the bang?
Yeah. Well, first off, I just want to say I don't know what it is with. I have good internet. I checked my plan. My internet's not super cheap. It's like $100 and something bucks. But for some reason, this Ethernet, it's either the Ethernet cable, whatever, it just shorts out. And so sometimes it's really good. And tonight it was acting up. So I was like, screw it. Let me just go in here, which I don't think anybody cares if I'm in my kitchen doing the show. But I apologize about that. But thank you guys for understanding and dealing with it. Next week, we'll have the St. Patty's episode, I'm sure. And I imagine we'll do something Scream 6 related. If not, God knows you, the viewers, are going to have so many goddamn videos about Scream 6. You'll probably be burnt out on it regardless. But, we'll see. We'll play it by ear. I like to make the podcast a fun thing where we kind of I don't want to say we set trends, but God knows we had a lot of people talking about Hellraiser 2 the other week, which I think was really cool. I think it's awesome when people will send us pictures like, just listen to Uneeda. Oh, I am so proud of that Scream 3 episode because, I talked a lot of shit about that movie and I thought it's a good movie. And it seemed like a lot of people were like, you know what? I got a few messages. So, you know what? I listened to the episode. You know what? It's really not that bad. I thought it, and it's not. I really like Scream 3. So, I could end up liking that one more than 2 as time goes on, to be honest with you. But that's neither here nor there.
The Ghost Mom.
It's a good movie. It's a fun movie. And, it was really a fun episode for me to watch that movie and be like, damn it, Christian. Sometimes you just got to rewatch this stuff because to me, it always seems like if you feel a certain way about a movie, the longer time goes by, that feeling exaggerates to the either more of a negative or positive way. Naturally, I think a lot of people are like that. So I was really proud of that episode, and it's crazy how good those Scream episodes did, watch time wise and view wise. So that was awesome. But anyway, we're going to do more lives. I try to make them special events when we do live Uneedas, even if we have nothing to talk about. But anyway, so we have I'm sure you guys have the bell dong for Nick's channel. I'm sure you guys have the bell dong for my channel.
They don't.
They do. They
don't like me.
So just know that, I'm sure we'll have our Scream videos up this week, and I'm going to be doing more of those. I think I'm going to do top 10 2000s horror movies, which is going to be fun. But anyway, I want to end the show with this top 3 fast food joints. And the reason I want to ask this is because I anticipate a lot of people will have a different answer. And the reason I think they might have a different answer is because depending on where you live, you could just have the shittiest staff imaginable, and it'll ruin your perception of a fast food joint. So
yeah, wow.
I can tell you what I think the number 1 fast food restaurant is of all time. For me, it's Taco Bell, and it'll probably always be Taco Bell.
Taco Bell gets points for always being consistent and having Baja Blast year round. But, dude, I don't know. That's hard. I will tell you one thing. I wouldn't put McDonald's in the top 3. I just wouldn't. I like their fries. I think their fries are incredible.
They can be, that's for sure.
Yes. Their burgers are just fine, I guess. That isn't particularly good at all. I'm gonna throw Wendy's in the top 3. I'm gonna throw Wendy's in. I think Wendy's chicken is really good. Their salads are really good. They have all those lemonades that are just fucking fire. I'm throwing Wendy's in there. I am.
Now, do you think Wendy's has the best chicken sandwich?
Yeah, without question. Of the major fast food chains, yes.
I would agree.
Yes.
I would
Best chicken
absolutely
nuggets
agree.
too. Their nuggets are awesome. Yeah.
What's up, Keith? Good to see you, buddy. Keith says Chick-fil-A. Dude, I don't get the appeal of Chick-fil-A.
I don't either.
I get pissed off when I
around
get
here
those.
Raising Cane's. People are obsessed with Cane's, and I'm just like, dude, I just don't get it.
Cane's for me can be good if you get it fresh. Other times, dude, I'll be pissed off. But if I get my stuff from them fresh, I'm good. For me, it's T-Bell. I would agree. Wendy's is underrated as fuck, quite honestly. They have the best chicken sandwich. There's one thing I can say, if me and Sydney don't want to cook, or she doesn't want to cook, or if we don't feel like getting groceries, and I'm like, what do you want to eat? If I say Wendy's chicken sandwich, there's no chance she's gonna ever say no.
Yeah.
But we have. I really think we have the worst Burger King in the Southern Hemisphere, dude. Our Burger King is trash. Which just sucks because that's the episode I want to do for Breaking Bread. But I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of love for Five Guys, and
can't do it. Their burgers are good, but their fries are always soggy. And
do they make them homemade? Do they actually
do.
slice their taters?
They do. I give them credit for that. But yeah, no, their fries are always soggy. And I'm like, come on, I need some crunch to my fucking fries. Like, it's just too much to ask.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got to have one more. I mean, if we both agree that Wendy's and Taco Bell deserve to be in there, what's the third one?
I think there needs to be an underdog in there. See, you can't really talk to this because I believe it's just a Southern thing. I love me some Whataburger. Any of my Southern folks watching?
Oh, I've had Whataburger.
My
mom lives in Florida, so
okay,
yeah.
I didn't even know that. I thought it was just a Texas thing. They must be starting to finally branch out. Do you have Jack in the Box?
Oh my, yeah, and it's good as fuck.
Now, when I went to Jack in the Boxes as a kid, that was like one of the only places I think where you could actually get tacos, a burger, or chicken nuggets. Is it the same?
Yes.
Dude, that's insane.
Yes. No, yes. I will. Let me just say this to any of my Calif listeners. I'm sorry. In-N-Out, over fucking rated.
I've never had In-N-Out.
Dude, their menu is so small too. It's like 4 things. Like, it's literally like 4 things. And it's just like, and I had to try it while I was in Southern California because, like, it's just what you do. You know, you see In-N-Out in movies and stuff all the time. So you're like, oh, right. I'm in Hollywood. I'll do it. It was fine. Like, it wasn't bad, but I was like, why is everybody so crazy about this? Like, it's just whatever. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what number 3 would be. How about we just let number 3 be whatever's like a cool spot you got locally? That's probably better than most of the places we've already mentioned.
You just reminded me. I'd put Jack in the Box in there. I really would.
I'd be okay with that.
It's fire. Yeah.
Even though I don't have one. I have one. There's one in Kilgore, Texas, which is about an hour and some change from me. So I'd be okay with that because I like Jack in the Box a lot.
Yeah.
Krusty Krab. What a show. I like going off the beaten path for this. So I want to thank everybody for showing out because there's a lot of people streaming tonight, and we did really good tonight. Really, really good. So do me a favor, guys. Please drop a like on the show before you go. You guys, I love you guys, but y'all kill me sometimes. We'll have 130 people in here. The stream will get done. It has 23 likes on it. Come on, guys. I'm begging you. Drop a goddamn like on the
like
video.
That sometimes, man. It really is.
I get it. Some people watching their TV, they don't have their phones on them. But
yeah,
for real, thank you guys so much. We're nearing 100 episodes. It's just crazy to think about. It really is crazy to think about. I mean, wow. It feels like just yesterday we just started. But no, man, I think we're We're gonna get there pretty quick, and before we know, it'll be 200. So we're gonna have some guests lined up, guys. A little bit slower than what we wanted it to be this year, but the truth is, it's just hard. It's hard to get in touch with these people now, and I've made some efforts to reach out to some people, but I'm not even gonna bring it up because I don't want to jinx myself. But I've got some stuff in the works myself, and good guests, and we'll make it happen. But thank you guys.
Tell me. So.
I'll tell you when we get done, because this is stuff I worked on like this morning before I went to sleep. So it's brand new stuff. But again, it's just like, dude, I'm superstitious. So, but I'll tell you. Thank you guys. Have a great night.
Next time we see you, we all will have seen Scream.
And time out. I'm already saying this. 0 chance I'm not going to fucking love this movie. 0 chance. I'm so team Jenna Ortega. It's not even funny. So zero chance.
He's going into this like he went into Halloween Ends. I'm going to like this fucking movie.
I am.
Yeah.
And so, you are too. I know you are.
Yeah, I am too. I'm honestly preparing myself for this to be my second favorite. Like, serious. Like,
I'm preparing this to be my favorite movie ever made.
Hey. Fuck it. We'll leave it at that, guys.
All right, guys. We love y'all. We'll see you next time. Don't say anything.